Hey everybody, I'm Rebecca and welcome to my channel, A Reason to Hope, where each week I share a message of hope, empowerment, and faith. Let's just jump into this week's message. If you were to ask 100 random people to define victorious living, how do you think the majority would respond? I believe most people's response will likely be connected to status, money, and fame personally. Just look at some of the people with the millions of followers on social media. No morals or character or integrity, hateful and divisive, but they do have a loyal following. But when you pull back the curtain and look at the core values of many of these people, their lives don't reflect victorious living but are empty and unfulfilled. It's not a life that you want to emulate. Victorious living is about living a meaningful life of purpose and destiny. It doesn't mean a life without digressions or setbacks, but you view these obstacles as pushing you towards your destiny. John Lewis, who passed away in July, is a prime example of a person who lived a victorious life. He spent his adult life as a civil rights activist and U.S. Congressman fighting for justice and freedom for African Americans as well as other marginalized people in America. He was beaten almost to death, skull cracked with a billy club, and jailed more than 40 times, but he stayed true to his calling. For most of us, our life's course may not be as heroic like that of John Lewis, but victorious nevertheless. A life that is rooted in three tenets that I'm going to share with you today. And with each of these philosophies, I'm going to give you a quote from John Lewis that encapsulates the message. The first tenet for victorious living is love. Love is the greatest commandments. Often couples justify getting a divorce because they're no longer in love. But love is not a feeling, but a commitment. It's a choice, it's a behavior, it's an action. You can't love without giving. If I see someone in need and I have the ability to help them, thoughts and prayers isn't a sign of love. Love has to be put in action. The Bible says it this way: love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. And about love, John Lewis said this: what I tell young people is that if they come together with a mission and is grounded with love and a sense of community, you can make the impossible possible. Hate is too big of a burden to bear. The second tenet for victorious living is faith. Faith is believing even when you don't see any evidence. Faith helps you to weather the storms of life and stand strong in times of adversity, believing that in due time your circumstances will turn around. It is actually in times of difficulty that we grow in our faith, and we should make up our minds that we're going to fight the good fight and remain faithful when we face adversity and opposition. About faith, John Lewis said, the civil rights movement was based on faith. Many of us who were participants in this movement saw our involvement as an extension of our faith. We saw ourselves doing the work of the Almighty. Segregation and racial discrimination were not in keeping with our faith, so we had to do something. Now, I'll just add that faith without works is dead. The third tenet for victorious living is hope. Hope is an anchor for the soul. It's a posture of confident expectation that whatever I might have to go through, I will not give up, I will not quit. It's not wishful thinking, but waiting with expectancy. A simple example of hope is a parent promising their child that if you get good grades, you will be rewarded with a new bike for Christmas. So the child does his part and waits with confident expectation. And that's what hope does. It doesn't give up or quit. It keeps believing and expecting a future manifestation. About hope, John Lewis said, some people say I was too hopeful, too optimistic, but you have to be hopeful just in keeping with the philosophy of nonviolence. If you're not hopeful or optimistic, then you'll just give up. I'm very hopeful. I'm very optimistic about the future. My personal desire is that you and I take these three philosophies to heart and apply them to our lives. And I encourage you to just do a Google search on John Lewis quotes and be consciously inspired to live a life rooted in love, faith, and hope. hope. This is what victorious living is. I pray that this information has been helpful. If you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you are notified each time I upload to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. I really do appreciate it. I look forward to sharing a reason to hope next week. Until then, take care. Bye for now.